Hi, I'm Tori Ponder Brown, and I am here today to talk with you and explain to you a little bit about how reciprocal inhibition works in terms of stretching. So there are a few different ways, a few different protocols for stretching. The reciprocal inhibition basically is contracting a muscle that is opposing the one you are intending to stretch, and then releasing the muscle that you're intending to stretch and taking it a little bit further. That sounds like a lot of words to do something that's actually pretty simple. So let's actually do it, and it will be more easily understood, I think. So we're going to do the hamstrings, and for that we'll use a band and choose a side to stretch, whichever side you like, and place the band around that foot. Bring your leg up into the air, and then the opposite leg, it can be bent. If you can straighten it, that's probably a better option. You'll get a more significant stretch in the back line on the opposing side. So I have 3 phases of resistance in my stretch. I want to start at phase 1, resistance level 1. And that is where I take my leg back toward stretch and it just stops. So in this position, I'm feeling a moderate stretch, but really it's pretty comfortable and my leg just stops here. I want to rest here through full, comfortable, and relaxed breathing cycles until I don't feel much of that stretch sensation anymore at all. Maybe a little bit, but not too much. Once I feel that that tension has released, I'm going to pull back on it just a little bit more to take up the slack. But again, it's not a crazy big stretch. It's just a stopping point. Depending on your ability to release and relax, this may take longer for you. It can take 20, 30 seconds if you're really good at relaxing. It may take 5 minutes of really just resting here and breathing and focusing on your intention, which is the stretch of the hamstrings and the back of the knee at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed. From R1, resistance level 1, I want to take it to R2, the second level of resistance. To do that, I'm going to use reciprocal inhibition, which is to create tension on the opposing muscle. In this position, if I were to let go of the band, I would be using my hip flexor muscles to pull my leg toward me, my rectus femoris, my deeper psoas, and iliacus. So the muscle opposing the hamstrings are the hip flexors. So I'm going to keep my leg in position, in that R1 position, and I'm going to place my hand on the front of my thigh and push my femur, my thigh, into my hand to contract my hip flexors. So I'm contracting the muscles opposite the ones I'm trying to stretch, which in this case are my hamstrings. And I'm going to hold that just at about 15% of full capacity. And just breathe a few breathing cycles through that contraction. You can take the time through this contraction to focus on a few things, actually. The first would be to notice if that's creating tension anywhere else and let that tension go. You can also begin to think about the hamstring, and as you're contracting the hip flexors and the quadriceps, relaxing or letting go of tension in the hamstrings. I'm still contracting isometrically, meaning I'm pushing against my hand but not moving my leg. Another full inhalation. And when I'm ready to exhale, just exhale, nothing forced, let it go. And on my next inhalation, I'm going to move my hand and allow my leg to go further into a deeper hamstring stretch. This is resistance level 2. So I've gone past the point where my leg just wants to stop, and I've actually put it into a position of stretch. I contracted my hip flexors isometrically, and then I moved out of the way and turned it into a concentric motion, meaning I'm not just contracting the muscle and not moving. Now I'm contracting and I'm allowing my body to move. And now in the second phase of resistance, I'm going to hold here just like I did at R1 and give my body a chance to become accustomed to this new position and relax into it a bit. For the hamstrings, you can rotate the hip inward and outward. You have 3 hamstring muscles, and so depending on your leg position, you'll be targeting one or two more than another. Find the position that is the most tense for you, and just pause and breathe into it. Relaxation takes practice, and so once again, if you're very good at this, you may find 10, 20 seconds after holding this that you've really released and let go and you're ready to move on. It may take you quite a bit longer, 1 to 5 minutes sometimes. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and move forward. From R2, I'm going to do the same thing, reciprocal inhibition. My leg has not moved forward or back since I increased the stretch. I'm going to keep it right where it is, put my hand on my thigh, and then push into my hand to create an isometric contraction of my hip flexors. Yes, and one of those hip flexors is a quadricep, and so I am contracting my quadriceps as well. And I'm just going to maintain that 15% isometric contraction through a few breathing cycles. And I'm not going to give you a specific number of breathing cycles. I would like you to take enough time to hold the contraction and let go of tension elsewhere in your body, and focus on the hamstring release. I'm going to take another full breath in, nothing forced, just comfortable full breath. As I exhale, let all of the air leave my lungs and my body, empty the cells, and on my next inhalation, I'm going to remove my hand and see if I get a little more range. Okay, so this next position, this last position, is R3, resistance level 3. And R3 is where we're really at the end now. If we were to push it any further, it might hurt, or it might do damage. On that note of pain, we don't ever want pain. If you're feeling pain, it's completely counterproductive. Now, a stretch can be uncomfortable, but consider it comfortable discomfort. It's not anything that's going to make your body fight back against it. You know you have gone too far in any of these phases of resistance if you're feeling pain or if you're shaking, right? If you're shaking, you're too far. The nervous system is having a hard time maintaining that degree of stretch, and it's not going to relax for you. It's just going to keep shaking and trying to find itself. In that case, you just want to back off a little bit, regroup, and try that reciprocal inhibition again. So you want to wait at R3 until you start to feel a similar sensation that you felt at the first level of resistance, which is there's a stretch there, but it's moderate and it's comfortable. All right, and then to come out of it, rather than lowering your legs straight down, be sure to shorten the muscle and then roll to your side to sit up. So that is reciprocal inhibition. It is contracting muscles opposing the side that you're intending to stretch, and then releasing it and allowing the body to move deeper into that stretch. All right, thank you so much. I look forward to working with you again. Next time we will do PNF, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. Thanks for joining me. Bye.